So when COVID-19 hit in March, we all had to make some pretty abrupt changes and figure out how to keep things going, something probably very few of us were really prepared to do on that scale. It was a real concern at the time as to how the state court system was going to be able to provide even the most basic critical court services. Well, on March 22nd, the Wisconsin Supreme Court suspended most in-person court proceedings and ordered them to be held remotely. So Judge Randy Koschnick, the director of state courts, and his team, in about really a week's time, researched, tested, and rolled out to the entire court system Zoom technology, permitting the court systems to really operate across the state. Judge Koschnick's team and the CCAP staff worked with judges to set up YouTube channels for each circuit court branch, every one of them, to allow remote access to the public. CCAP provided Zoom licenses and training to the state's 249 judges, as well as court commissioners and all of the court staff. Really a pretty monumental undertaking, if you ask me. The technology and the quick response really helped not only transform how the court operations were handled, but it also kept the courts open and responsive. And really that was the most important thing. I think it saved literally thousands of hours by travel for litigants and lawyers. It protected the health and safety of everybody involved in the court system during the pandemic. It's pretty remarkable. I often meet virtually in my work with lawyers and other people in lots of other states. And many times when they ask about what's going on in Wisconsin, and I tell them our court system is up and running and operating and open, they're amazed and they want to know how and why. And we have some folks here who can tell you how that's happening. Judge Koschnick is here today to accept the award. Congratulations, Judge Koschnick, and thanks for keeping our courts operating during this very unpredictable time. Congratulations.
Thank you, and thank you for the invitation today, and thank you for the lovely award, which I have here at my side. In preparation for today, having lived the proverbial necessity is the mother of invention, I did some quick research to see how that term came into being, and it's a very interesting etymological history, which stretches from Plato in 375 BC to Albert Einstein and even Frank Zappa in the current era. So it's been true to humanity for all those hundreds of years. Basically, Plato in the Republic is probably his most famous work, which is a Socratic dialogue on justice and a just society, coincidentally, said essentially, according to most translations, our need will be the real creator. And Albert Einstein observed that in the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. And Frank Zappa's contribution was naming one of his bands, of course, the Mothers of Invention back in the 60s. But I think back to the moment when me and the leadership team were thrust into the situation where we had to keep the courts running, but of course we had to respect the needs of people to be free from being exposed to the virus. And it was a special moment. Effervescent is a word that comes to mind. I had mainly Jean Bosquet was there. She's my chief information officer, and she developed and runs CCAP in my office. And Diane Fremgen is my deputy director of court operations. And so as we're sitting around the table in mid-March trying to figure out how we're going to keep the courts running and keep them accessible to the public and the media, it's amazing how little pieces that normally wouldn't be put together coalesced together. So Diane Fremgen had been working on a project to have interpreters appear remotely, because it's hard to get interpreters, especially in uncommon languages, to remote parts of the state. And Jean Bosquet had been looking into different meeting technologies, including Zoom, to try to save some time and money on our routine meetings involving judges from different parts of the state. I had been on the bench in Jefferson County for 18 years before becoming the director of state courts 3 years ago. And we used a lot of video conference technology in Jefferson County for a number of reasons, to reduce transport costs, to enable people to appear remotely for relatively brief hearings instead of having them travel great distances. And so as we sat together and worked through the problems and the possible solutions, it was really a magical moment to see it all sort of come together. And the Zoom emerged to the top, because I knew from using it in some other parts of my life that it was easy, it was flexible, it had a lot of options that you could use, it had the higher level licenses that you could buy, which we bought for the state, obviously, with security protocols and so forth. And it was really just amazing to see it all, work out. And I had a lot of concerns. I had a few sleepless nights, many sleepless nights. Are the judges going to like this? Are they going to resist it? And of course, they're all independent elected constitutional officers, and I can't order them to do anything. I simply give them the tools and recommendations on how to use them. And yes, and most of them did begin using Zoom and were eager to learn. And so CCAP went on an extensive training and installation program, and the court operations people on the ground had to integrate video conference equipment in various courtrooms, which varies from county to county, with a standard Zoom technology. And so I think things did work out pretty well. And it's opened up opportunities that we may never have gotten to, or it may have been years in the making. Like Tom mentioned, we've got probably a hearing today or in the next couple of days on the election lawsuit, which is going to get national attention as a result of this technology we've implemented. We can make it available on YouTube to national media and have a hearing on relatively short notice and really allow the public to see what's going on there. So on behalf of my entire team, I want to thank the State Bar for recognizing and fostering innovation. I think it greatly enhances the level of justice that we can deliver in the Wisconsin court system. It demonstrates how the bench and the bar can work together to pursue justice, to protect individual rights, to provide a civilized manner of resolving disputes, and to keep the courts operational and accessible to the public, even during difficult times like the pandemic. And I'm working on a petition to the Supreme Court to modify some of the Supreme Court rules to accommodate Zoom technology going forward, so we can harness and continue to benefit from this technology even after the pandemic has passed, which is hopefully in the very near future. So I on behalf of my staff, I just really thank you so much for the award, for recognizing innovation. And I want to encourage you as State Bar leadership to continue to look for and to recognize and to promote and publicize innovators. It does a tremendous service to the public at large. So thank you.
Thank you, Judge. And in 7 years, you are the first recipient to cite Frank Zappa. So we
Okay.
appreciate that reference. That's awesome. I really like that. So thank you.
Thanks.